Hi, this is Rick Stewart. Welcome to an hour of All-Star Wrestling. In the next 60 minutes, you're going to see the sharp-dressed man contest between Mr. Russell Sapp, Esquire, and Rick McCord. You'll be seeing Mike George in action, the new Central States Tag Team Champions, due to a very controversial win in Wichita, Kansas Century 2 Auditorium. And you get your chance, Mr. Cash. The Warlord and Crusher Carl Kovac. Plus, later this hour, we'll be seeing the boss, Porkchop Cash, in action against his arch-rival, Rufus R Jones. Now you've got the tag team champions in your stable, Mr. Cash, but something you've got to think about, sir. Thunderdome 87 is coming up all across the Central States. A cage match involving 12 to 14 wrestlers, all inside of a steel cage. The only ways that you can win is to pin a man, to make him quit, or to submit, or to run out the door, and you're signed for all these matches.
Let me tell you one thing, Rick Stewart. All of it in my favor. What's that?
12 men in.
Okay, listen to that. 12 men in, right? And 3 men left. Look, this is our 3 right here.
Only one man can win in a Thunderdome match.
Well, hey, one man. That'll be me. It will be me. 12 men in, 1 man left. But, you know, I want to get back to the tag team. What do you mean discrepant? They won it fair and square, and everybody Wichita saw.
The National Wrestling Alliance is looking into the way that Warlord and Crusher Carl Kovac, and that man right there.
Never interfere. We never interfere in no matches, Rick Stewart. You just
Whatever
jealous.
You say, Mr.
You
Cash.
jealous because they beat Batten and Jaggers. That's why you jealous. There's a little conflict in there. But let me tell you, you know, right here in Kansas City, we're going to have one of these Thunderdome, right?
Yes, indeed.
And I'm going to tell you, I'm going in there, and I'm going to beat up everybody. If you don't want to only man standing there, be me.
The boss and his boys are part of Thunderdome 87.
That's right.
Our first match today on All-Star Wrestling, we'll see the Warlord in action.
And Warlord, I've given Warlord instructions to go in there, and he's going to beat him up, just like I tell him.
We'll be back right after this brief timeout. All-Star Wrestling begins. Ladies and gentlemen, this match is one fall with a 10-minute time limit. In the white corner at 225 pounds, Kansas City's T.C. Carter. His opponent at 340 pounds, managed at ringside by the boss, Porkchop Cash, the Warlord. One fall, 10 minutes. One half of the tag team champions, the Warlord, set to take on T.C. Carter in our first match in All-Star Wrestling. Bart Batten's here with me at ringside, and I know you got to be watching this match very closely, Bart, for the simple reason that at Wichita Century 2, when it all came down to the last 2 teams in the ring, it was Warlord and Kovac who are the new champions against yourself and Bobby Jaggers.
That's absolutely right, Cool Faith, you know. I'm never one to come out and complain whenever I have to, you know, when something happens, I don't like to complain or sound like sour grapes or nothing like that. But they did not win the titles from me and Bobby Jaggers fair and square. We had them down there towards the end of the match, and I'm really not sure what happened. This is just from the fans from Wichita and Century 2 and Wichita, rather. Russell Sapp came in and knocked Bobby Jaggers out with that loaded elbow pad that he carries around, and that's the only reason why the Warlord and Crusher Carl Kovac are the Central States Tag Team Champions. But it's water over the bridge right now as far as we're concerned. What we want right now is to get the Warlord and Carl Kovacs back in the ring, and we need somebody to keep these distractions away from us so we can take care of the business at hand.
Right now, inside the ring, the Warlord going to work on T.C. Carter, one of the most promising young rookies that I've seen in quite some time. I was talking to Rufus R Jones in the dressing room before this match, and he said that T.C. Carter showed no fear in the dressing room when he was going to climb in the ring with the Warlord, even though I'm sure in the back of his mind, T.C. knew that he was overmatched against him.
I tell you, anytime you're just getting started in the sport of professional wrestling, I guess you got to go out there, and I think it's what the old-timers call paying your dues. And
hey, look at this.
Hey, he's opening up a little bit on the Warlord right there, but Warlord just, I think, a little bit, like you said, he's a little overmatched, but you got to be able to get in the ring and wrestle guys like this, because Rick Stewart, you know and I know, it only takes a slip on a banana peel to have T.C. Carter beat the Warlord, and boy, would that not make him shoot him up in the ring as far as maybe getting a shot at the Central States heavyweight
I imagine it would. A tremendous power slam from the Warlord. You're going to take a look at that upper body right now.
I tell you, it doesn't. I can take the voice of experience, Breeze. You don't get up too quick from that big, vicious power slam, and I think right now he can beat T.C. Carter right now in the middle of the ring, but the Warlord, probably listening to the boss, is going to dish out as much punishment. Oh, there's those big, heavy forearms right there. Real right over top of us. You can hear him pounding into the pectoralis muscles. But, you know, the Warlord, what more can you say? Super. Oh!
That's 340 pounds crushing TC in the corner. Now, not only does TC Carter have to worry about the Warlord in the ring, but the boss and his boys are at ringside. And for a young guy in the sport, Bart, that's got to be, I know what a toll it is on you. For a young guy in the sport like TC, that's got to put that extra weight on his mind and keep him from really concentrating like he should.
I don't understand why these guys are out here anyway, Rick. Maybe I can understand why the big, high vertical suplex there. I don't understand the purpose of Kovacs being at ringside, or Russell Sapp, Esquire, or whatever. Yeah, I guess that's what he likes to be called. There's no reason for them to be out here, but it's, once again, like you said, I think it's a psychological ploy by Porkchop Cash, just in case something might happen, and that's totally unnecessary right there. He had the man beat, and he pulled him up. And there's the boss over there saying he wants to beat him up, and I have a feeling you're going to get their comeuppance.
One half of the new Central States Tag Team Champions.
Oh, he's got the elbow right there. Oh!
He walked right into that clothesline of the Warlords, got him down a press. 1, 2, 3, and we've got a win today. Time of the fall, 4 minutes. Winners, one half of the Central. Wait a minute. Bart Batten attacked from behind by the boss, Porkchop Cash, while he was commentating on this match. Bart Batten in attack. Wait a minute. Here comes Bobby Jaggers with Shoe, baby. That rawhide bullwhip that Jaggers carries with him has cleared the boss and his boys out of the ring. Bart Batten sheep-shotted from behind by the boss, Porkchop Cash, and his boys. Bobby Jaggers and Bart Batten, Shoe Baby, all here together at ringside.
As I said before, Daddy, it's come down next week, right here on TV, brother. We want a title match with these two goons, Kovacs and Warlord, and we'll show you who the champions are. And Porkchop, you keep sticking your nose in somebody's business, it's going to get whooped off, right, Bart?
I tell you, I'm tired of these. You just can't turn your back on these two guys. But Warlord, Crusher Carl Kovacs, we know it's not supposed to be a title match, but we think after that little shenanigans ploy right there, we should get a title match. And when we do, brother, we're going to take it right to you.
That's right. Get us when you got us both there, and let's see how big and bad you are, Daddy.
All right, while we're in this commercial break, Bart and Bobby will be getting with promoter Bob Geigel. We'll be back with more All-Star Wrestling, including an edition of Brenda's Beauty Shop. Maybe a visit with Shoe Baby when we continue right after this brief timeout.
Hello, and welcome to our special guest, handsomely dressed in a raincoat, a fellow who truly leads a dog's life. Meet McGruff, the crime dog.
Thanks, Dick. It may be a dog's life, but I'm helping people take a bite out of crime.
Indeed you are. Now, do I understand that neighborhood watch programs have reduced crime in some areas as much as 50%?
That's right, but there's more to be done.
Well, tell me about it, which I'm sure he will.
You bet. Make sure your neighborhood has plenty of lights. Leave one on in your house at night, and remember, light a light to stop a thief.
Shady characters prefer the dark, eh?
You got it. Also, start a volunteer escort service for older folks.
Aha, good news for the old folks at home, eh? What about the young folks?
Start McGruff houses.
Which are?
Houses kids can duck into in case of trouble.
Terrific. Anything else?
Yeah, that's a nice jacket, Dick.
Oh, thanks, McGruff. Hey, thanks for all you're doing. For more information, write to this address and help
take a bite out of crime.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to my show, Brenda's Beauty Shop. And I want these people in this audience, we are live and in color, to quit calling me those names. I'm not going to pay attention because I have been rated the #1 talk show in all of wrestling. I'm telling you people, they threw Joan Rivers off the air and replaced her with me. I am so popular. I've had politicians calling me, begging to be on my show, but I don't get into politics, and I don't get into undesirable people like Hustler Rip Rogers.
Well, you know, Brenda, I don't know if I'm better than Rip Rogers, but one thing I do know, I'm a lot better than you. You got the biggest butt on a woman I ever saw in my life, Miss Brenda. And get off at this show. We don't need your likes on the type of this here show. It's going to be Ox Baker's show from now on. We don't need old flea bag. We don't need her big butt here in Kansas City. And I run her off for all you people here in Kansas City. And if I have my way about it, I'm going to keep her off of here for a long, long... Where did old flea bag go anyway? All right, I'm going to keep her off of this show because she don't need to be on here.
On June the 28th, get your advance tickets right now at Weird Harold's in Burlington, and what a night it's going to be of wrestling excitement at Memorial Auditorium. On Monday, June the 22nd, All-Star Wrestling in Hamilton, Illinois at the Hamilton High School Gym. Rufus R Jones will be on that card. You can get your advance tickets at the Athletic Center in Hamilton or across the river at Tippin' Buds in Keokuk, Iowa. All you fans in Keokuk, Monday, June the 22nd, Hamilton, Illinois at the high school gym. Before we talk to Rufus, let's get the words of the boss, Porkchop Cash.
That's right, the boss. You see who got the belt. When you see Rufus, he won't have the belt. You know who got the belt? I got the belt. Because you know why? I beat him up, and I take the belt away from him. I gave him a fat lip. I gave him a black eye. Somebody said you couldn't do it to Rufus. But I proved them that they was wrong. Because they didn't know how to do it. Because, see, let me tell you, me and Rufus look just alike. But Rufus is Uncle Tom, and I'm a soul brother. So right there in Burlington, brother, I'm going to show you how to do it again. And Rufus, I don't beat you up in the match me and you here. When we go to the bunkhouse, and I'm going to beat you up in that too, boy.
Now, let me make one thing perfectly clear to the fans. As far as the promotion is concerned, Rufus R. Jones is and has been the Central States heavyweight champion, no matter who has physical possession of that belt.
That's right, Rick. You know, Porkchop, you stole my belt. You tell everybody you the champion. Bunkhouse Stampede, you wear anything, you take anything the ring wants to take there. Inside the ring, Porkchop, I may have some brass knuckles, bro, to knock you out with.
Ladies and gentlemen, this match scheduled one fall with a 10-minute time limit.
Look at Ox Baker sticking his nose in somebody else's business, sticking his nose in my business, Rick Stewart.
What you're hearing is the voice of Hustler Rip Rogers, who distracted Ox Baker before the start of his match with Steve Estes.
That Ox Baker, he went on Brenda's Beauty Shop, the #1 rated show in all professional wrestling. He chased her off her own show. She chased Joan Rivers off the air. Now he's trying to get some heat with me. If he wants to mess with me, he's asked for the right person because I can beat anybody.
Steve Estes catching Ox Baker unaware in the corners all over the behemoth from Cole Camp, Missouri.
That's right, he's 6'6", about 320 pounds. I know he's killed 2 men in the ring with a hard punch, but he's messed with Brenda Britton, he's messed with me, and he's in trouble now, baby.
There it is, the heart punch of Ox Baker that had put 2 men away in professional
That ought to be
wrestling.
illegal.
Literally away, as in killed 2 men in pro wrestling. Time of the fall, 45 seconds. Your winner of the match is Ox Baker.
Come here, Hustler.
Baker, he ran Brenda off of her own show. She's got the #1 show of all professional wrestling. I'm not scared of anybody. I'm not scared of anybody. But look what he did to Steve Estes. He hit him with that heart punch. I know you're 6'6". I know you're from Cole Camp, Missouri, but don't you mess with me. If you want to match with me, get in there right now and I'll knock you out.
Well, the challenge is down. Ox Baker in the ring, setting that taped fist for the heart punch. Hustler Rip Rogers is headed around the other side of the ring. We're going to try to get a word with Ox Baker here. We're going to try to get a word with Ox Baker here. Hustler Rip Rogers at ringside.
Very, very bad. I want to beat the hell out of it for you people, Kennedy.
I tell you, we got a potential confrontation looming here with Hustler Rip Rogers. Rogers at ringside.
Everybody in this building, they know Baker's scared of me. I can beat him up anytime I want to. You people shut up!
You hear the people, Mr. Rogers. They want to see you get in the ring and wrestle him yourself.
This is not the time, and this is not the place. But Baker, you'll pay for what you did to Brenda.
Wait a minute. Ox Baker sliding outside the ring.
I'll get him somewhere, somehow, I can promise. I'm going to beat him up somewhere.
There you heard it. The potential confrontation is looming between Ox Baker and Hustler Rip Rogers.
I'm going to get him somewhere, somehow. Him and that flea bag are going to be run out of Kansas City.
We'll be back with more on All-Star Wrestling. The Sharp-Dressed Man contest is coming up right after this.
There is a crisis facing America's aging veterans, and something needs to be done about it today, because many of them may not be here tomorrow. This year, more than 250,000 veterans will be turned away from VA hospitals, not because there aren't enough beds available or enough space. The VA simply doesn't have enough money for the medical staff and equipment needed to treat those disabled veterans who should occupy those beds. As more veterans reach the age of retirement, more and more need VA medical care, but are being denied it. For some, it may already be too late. We've made a promise to our veterans, and now we're turning the lights out on that promise. The disabled American veterans want you to know that we can't turn our backs on our disabled veterans. They need help now, because tomorrow may be too late. If you want to help, contact the DAV, a nonprofit organization that offers free help to this nation's disabled veterans.
Vinnie Valentino, Vinnie, watch him fly. Vinnie Valentino, Vinnie, watch him go. Vinnie, my hero, go, Vinnie, go, 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 Vinnie, go. He climbs in the ring, he's like lightning. You know you're gonna get struck. Don't count on him, say you're gonna need all of your luck. He comes flying through the air, you better be quick to duck. Cause when you open up your baby blues, you're gonna think it was the drug. Vinnie Valentino, Vinnie, watch him fly. Vinnie Valentino, Vinnie.
Ladies and gentlemen, this match, one fall with a 10-minute time limit. Now in the ring at 245 pounds, Long Island, New York's Vinnie Valentino. Mantel, who was one of the top-rated tag teams in the country, #1 contenders for the U.S. Tag Team Championships. And now, along with Bart Batten, he's emerged as the top contenders, and at least a lot of people that were there for the tag team tournament feel the rightful Central States Tag Team Champions. Of course, the National Wrestling Alliance is investigating that due to some alleged outside interference by the boss, Porkchop Cash, and his associate, shall we say, for lack of a better word, Mr. Russell Sapp, Esquire, from that infamous elbow pack. Jaggers with a good arm drag takedown, got that top wrist lock. Look at the way that Bobby puts the pressure on that wrist. Not only putting pressure on the shoulder of Vinnie Valentino, but working that wrist into a very painful position as well. Excellent opportunity for the fans at home. You know, we very rarely get a chance to see a match that promises to be a blend of scientific wrestling. That's really what this great sport is all about. Two athletes in all-out competition, and their knowledge of holds, leverage, endurance, strength, stamina, and mental power as well, matched man on man in the ultimate contest to see who will emerge victorious. Bobby Jaggers keeping that armbar. Look at Vinnie Valentino now with that chin lock on Jaggers, not only keeping his own shoulder off the mat, but hopefully wrenching Jaggers back into a position where Vinnie can get on some kind of offensive maneuver with him. A little later this hour, as a matter of fact, in our next segment of All-Star Wrestling, we're going to take a look at a very, very strange contest that I'm really looking forward to. The Sharp-Dressed Man contest between Rick McCord and Mr. Russell Sapp, Esquire, where the fans here at the television arena get a chance to judge who really is the sharp-dressed man in the Central States area. You fans might want to vote at home for your own choice of sharp-dressed man. Somehow, I think the deck is kind of loaded in favor of one of these guys, but you know, we'll just have to wait and see for ourselves. Our TV main event today, the boss, Porkchop Cash, is going to take on arch-rival Rufus R Jones, and what a match that promises to be. Rufus, the Central States champion. Vinnie Valentino, leapfrog, a body press on Jaggers. Only a count of 2, but Vinnie's back up on his feet. A lightning-fast arm drag, and he goes to that top wrist lock. So far, very, very clean, very, very fast-paced match between these two. 1 week from today on All-Star Wrestling, King Kong Bruiser Brody in the flesh as he takes on Hustler Rip Rogers. I know fans all over the Central States are waiting with anxious anticipation for Bruiser Brody to get his hands on Rip Rogers. Maybe the Bruiser be the man to finally shut Rip Rogers up. They're into the ropes now. Referee Rick Ashwell's going to call for the break. Very fine job done by Rick as he travels around the Central States area, officiating all sorts of matches. You know, the time rapidly passing in this match. We have 2 minutes left in this scientific battle. 2 minutes remain in this match. Jaggers now clamping down on that side headlock. A test of strength between these two powerful athletes. Vinnie Valentino, very good use of leverage, comes up with a hammerlock on Jaggers. Good clean break on the ropes. Really must be a pleasure after the ring wars that these guys get into with their various opponents. Fine display of sportsmanship there, where you can get in a match and not have to worry about cheap shots or someone attacking you from behind or your opponent taking shortcuts in the ring. Just as we said before, really the true dynamics and the essence of professional wrestling. A test of man on man and strength on strength. Jaggers at the advantage with this Mexican wrist lock test of strength. Vinnie Valentino trying to maneuver his way to his feet. Both men jockeying back and forth. The leverage, of course, advantage have to go to Jaggers due to his, look at this, Vinnie Valentino cartwheeling up and down, a top wrist lock. Jaggers in the ring said, wait a minute. Of course, there's no timeouts in professional wrestling. Really looking forward to seeing Porkchop Cash collide with Rufus R Jones. What an interesting match that may be. Of course, next week, another edition of Brenda's Beauty Shop. Maybe Ox's Beauty Shop. I don't know. Ox Baker kind of took control of that. I don't know if Brenda Britton's going to want to come back out or not. A double collision in the ring sends both Bobby Jaggers and Vinnie Valentino down. I think Jaggers landed on the back of his head, as did Vinnie Valentino. Now, in this situation, both men got to a count of 10 to make their feet, kind of like a countdown in boxing. Jaggers gets set with that big elbow that's kind of his trademark. Vinnie Valentino had the presence of mind to roll out of the way. Vinnie comes up with an elbow on his own, trying to get out of the way. Jaggers has rolled out of the ring onto the floor of the arena. He may have sustained some additional damage there. Bobby trying to get his wits back about him, trying to get back into the ring. Time rapidly running out in this match, less than a minute to go. Jaggers firing his man in. Vinnie Valentino trying to come up with a sunset flip. He's got Jaggers over. Count of one, count of two. Very, very close. But Jaggers managing to get those shoulders off the mat at the last second. Sets his man a swinging neck breaker on Vinnie Valentino. 30 seconds remain in this match. Time becoming a factor here now. Both men will be jockeying back and forth to see. Small package from Vinnie Valentino. A surprise move on Jaggers. Again, a very, very short time passed between the time of the third count and the time Jaggers. Now Jaggers got him with that elbow. Count of one. Count of two. The seconds rapidly ticking away. Jaggers with that rear chin lock. I don't think they really realize what kind of time frame has gone on in this match. Jaggers, of course, trying to hold his man down. Vinnie Valentino trying to make his way to his feet. Vinnie fires a couple of short shots to the midsection. Coming off a body press on Jaggers. Count of one, count of two. Jaggers is out and up. And that looks like all the time that they're going to have in this particular match. Let's get the official decision now from the referee. The time limit on this match has expired. Referee Rick Ashwell rules a time limit draw. Ox Baker down at ringside.
Everybody here, I know they're watching this match, but I'm sick and tired. This Rip Rogers, this here Brenda. I want to run her out of here, Kansas City. I want the people to demand that I get a match with Rip Rogers and Miss Brenda.
Wait a minute, look out, Ox. Ox Baker is down. He's just been attacked from behind by Hustler Rip Rogers.
I told you, Stuart, I'll pick the time and I'll pick the place. I'll pick the time and I'll pick the place. Here's a reminder for the Hustler Rip Rogers.
I don't know what to make of this. Wait a minute, we're going to find out once and for all. Ox Baker is still down on the floor. We're going to find out what's in this stinking purse once and for all. Something had to knock Ox Baker out. There's got to be something in here. Wait a minute. Flea powder. That's what it is. He's got rolls of... Now I see what's going on here. Ox Baker's still down on the canvas. This thing is filled with rolls of money. That's the secret behind Brenda Britton's purse. I'd like to try to get a chance to talk to Ox Baker. He's down. As Ox tries to get his wits about him, Rip Rogers sneak attacking Ox Baker from behind. We'll try to vary. Ox, if there's anything at all you can say. Ox, obviously, we're going to have to try to get some kind of help here from Ox Baker. He's been jammed from behind. We found rolls of money in the purse of Fleabag Brenda Britton. We're going to be back with more All-Star Wrestling after this. Let's see if we can't get somebody down here and try to help this out. We'll be back in a minute. Monday night, June the 22nd, Bart Batten, all your favorite All-Star wrestlers will be in Hamilton, Illinois at the Hamilton High School Gym. Advance tickets are on sale right now at the Athletic Center in Hamilton and across the river at Tippin' Buds in Keokuk. That's Monday, June the 22nd in Hamilton, Illinois. Before we talk to Bart, let's get the words of Hustler Rip Rogers and the lovely and talented Fleabag Brenda Britton.
Fleabag. You know, in just a couple days, that's right, Monday, baby. The #1 ballet and Hustler Rip Rogers, we're coming to Hamilton, Illinois. That's right, Hamilton, Illinois, we're coming to your town Monday. But what's on my mind and the #1 ballet and all professional wrestling mind is Burlington, baby. Because in Burlington, I'm going to take Bart Batten, a man who's trying to make a name for himself, a man who's trying to take on the living legend, and I'm going to give him the wrestling lesson of his life in Burlington. And when all the dust clears, baby, I'm going to get in that big bunkhouse brawl. I'm going to bring my squat belt in there, and I'm going to whip everybody to my heart's content, and I'm going to win that $2,000 in Burlington. Whoa.
Sunday night, June the 28th, Bart Batten will be in Burlington, Iowa.
That's right. You know, I'm looking forward to Hamilton Monday night, too, Cool Breeze. But Burlington, Iowa's the point in hand right here. You know, I was thinking any matches that are sponsored by a place like Weird Harold's and is sponsored by a rock station like Rock 93 can't be all bad because we're hardcore rock and rollers, and that means party. And the Breeze Brothers know all about partying. And Rip Rogers, when I bring my flea bag sign to Burlington, Iowa and give it to all the people, brother, it's going to be all it's over with, and you're going down.
Gentlemen, this is the Sharp Dressed Man Contest 1987. Now in the ring from Columbia, Missouri, Mr. Russell Sapp, Esquire.
You bet.
All right, fans, now you and I are going to be the judges of this Sharp Dressed Man contest. The winner is going to get this beautiful plaque, and you fans at home, you may want to judge on your own. Now, if we could have your attention for just a second, please. Hang on. There's only one way to do this, and this is by noise, and I'll be the judge. We're going to start with Mr. Sapp, and we're going to finish with Mr. McCord. Now, if you don't want the man to win, don't make any noise at all, because we can't tell cheers from boos. Silence will be the word, all right? For the 1987 Sharp Dressed Man, here's Mr. Russell Sapp, Esquire. All right, there are obviously some people here who feel he is indeed the Sharp Dressed Man. The other participant, Rick McCord.
I want a recount. I want a recount.
What do you mean? What do you mean a recount?
I want a recount.
All right, wait a minute. Mr. Sapp doesn't think things are quite straight here. We're going to do it for him. You stand by, Rick. Let's try it one more time. Mr. Russell Sapp. And Mr. Rick McCord. There ain't no doubt about it. The 1987 Sharp Dressed Man is Rick McCord. Russell Sapp, Esquire, has just zinged Rick McCord from behind. He's taken that beautiful plaque and slammed it across the back of his head. Russell Sapp tearing the ring clothes off Rick McCord. Those spandex trunks. I can't believe this. Oh, I can't believe this. Mr. Russell Sapp, Esquire, has just knocked Rick McCord unconscious and stolen that beautiful trophy from him.
I told you I was the best dressed man. I want to thank all of you who voted me to be the best dressed man. Thank you.
There's going to be an investigation about this, I guarantee you that. We're back with our TV main event right after this. Don't go away. Burlington, Iowa. Get your advance tickets right now at Weird Harold. Shoe Baby is going to be in Burlington, too. Plus, you'll see Bobby Jaggers, Rick McCord, Vinnie Valentino, all your favorites in Hamilton, Illinois, Monday night, June the 22nd at the high school gym. Tickets are on sale at the Athletic Center in Hamilton and at Tippin' Buds in Keokuk, Iowa. Burlington, Iowa, you get a chance to get your hands on Mr. Russell Sapp, Esquire.
You know, Cool Breeze, I never thought that I would be in a bitter feud with somebody like Russell Sapp. He used to haul the ring. But let me tell you something. You got psyched out by Porkchop Cash. He thinks you're some kind of superstar. Well, when I get you in the ring, let me tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put you down 1, 2, 3.
Sunday night, June the 20th. I notice a non-title match from the tag team champions against Bobby Jaggers and Vinnie Valentino.
Non-title or not, it don't matter, because Porkchop Cash, you bring your two big men that they call champions down, because we're going to give them a wrestling lesson. And when it's all over, baby, if you stick your nose in it, we got that cage match, that stampede, right? No cage, but a stampede.
That's right. You know something, Porkchop? Rock 93 is like this. No place to run, no place to hide. In Burlington, Iowa, Daddy, the big men have got to come and face us. You know something? My tennis shoes aren't laced real tight, as you can understand, because I'm not a runner, Porkchop. I stand my ground and I fight. So in Burlington, Iowa, let's just see how big your men are. And then bunkhouse, Daddy, $2,000.
Ladies and gentlemen, this match, one fall with a 30-minute time limit. In the blue corner, 225 from Florida, the boss, Porkchop Cash. His opponent at 270 pounds, Amarillo, Texas, the Central States heavyweight champion, Rufus R Jones. All right, our TV main event set for action. Rufus R Jones, the Central States champion, takes on the boss, Porkchop Cash, a non-title match here today on TV. The belt being surrendered to referee Sonny Myers. Hustler Rip Rogers, the creator of quite a furor here today on All-Star Wrestling, is with me at ringside.
Do you mind if I say a few words, Mr. Stewart?
Be my guest.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure to be out on the world's greatest professional wrestling show. It's a pleasure to come out here and see the boss man finally, after months and months of anticipation, getting a Central States Heavyweight Championship match today here on TV. You know, Rufus R Jones, he's a tremendous champion. But look at the Porkchop man right now. He's in complete control of this match. And I'm going to tell you, Mr. Stewart, I'm going to tell everybody in the arena, and I'd like to clue in everybody in TV land, that after today, Mr. Porkchop Cash, the boss man, he's going to be the new holder of the Central States Heavyweight Championship belt.
You listen to the words, of course, of Hustler Rip Rogers, who 1 week from today will have to stand face-to-face, or foot-to-face, as we may want to think about it, with Bruiser Brody.
You know, Rick Stewart, I don't want to talk about Bruiser Brody. He's about 6'8".
You don't.
He's about 320 pounds. He's knocked out everybody in the world of professional wrestling. He's the meanest man in professional wrestling. He's the toughest man in professional wrestling. And I want you to quit stirring the pot, and I don't want to talk about Bruiser Brody at all.
You better just wait till next week. That's all I got to say for you, sir. Rufus R Jones been defending his Central States Championship all over the Central States, whether it be Marshalltown, Iowa, Burlington, Iowa. I'd like to say a big hello to my friends up there and welcome a new station to the All-Star Wrestling family of stations in Atlanta, Georgia, where I had the pleasure to be a couple of years ago. I'd like to say hi to all my friends in Hotlanta. Maybe we'll be with you partying down on Peachtree.
You know, the Hustler Rip Rogers, he's a living legend in Atlanta, just like he's a living legend with everybody and everywhere in professional wrestling. And did you see the new champion, Rufus R Jones? It's a challenger, the boss man, with a closed fist.
No.
That's against the rules. He should be disqualified, and the boss man should be the new Central States Heavyweight Champion.
Well, did you see the boss, Porkchop Cash, just try to hit Rufus Jones with a closed fist?
I didn't see that, Rick Stewart. I didn't see that at all. But what I did see, about 10 minutes ago, I saw the Sharp Dressed Man contest. And I want to agree with everybody, because Mr. Russell Sapp, Esquire, is the sharp-dressed man of professional wrestling. The gold, the diamond, the jewelry, the $300 shoes, that fine form-fitting suit, the nice hair and sunglasses. Mr. Russell Sapp, Esquire, is the sharp-dressed man of all professional wrestling.
Let me clue you in on something. Me and Rick McCord have been friends for a long time. And if there's one thing that Rick McCord is going to do, guarantee, if I know this guy, he's going to get Russell Sapp, Esquire.
You know, Rick McCord can say he's going to do this. Rick McCord can say he's going to do that.
You just wait and see.
But regardless of Rick McCord, what he says, the true sharp-dressed man in professional wrestling is Russell Sapp, Esquire, because he's got the plaque that proves it.
Well, you got a point. But how he got that plaque is another thing. Rufus Jones rocking the boss in the corner. He didn't look like anybody's boss right now. Couple of soup bones and a big elbow got him all staggered back.
You know, Rufus R Jones, he's a black man.
Very observant, Mr. Rogers.
He's an Uncle Tom.
What?
He dines on watermelon. He dines on pork chop. He dines on chitlins. He's a disgrace to his people. He's a disgrace to professional wrestling.
What?
Now, all the black people in TV land out there, they ought to be bowing down to the boss man, because the boss man, Porkchop Cash, he personifies what's great in a man, what's great in a professional wrestler. So everybody in TV land listening out there, especially if you're of the darker hue, send in your cards, send in your letters, requesting that you want to be a member of the boss and his boys.
Somebody better save the boss, maybe one of his boys right now, because Rufus R Jones is all over him inside the square circle. Let me tell you one thing, sir. Remarks like that are what's getting the boss, Porkchop Cash, the beating that he's getting right now. You may be next.
You know, Rick Stewart, the boss is a great professional wrestler. The boss
Wait a minute.
man.
Did you see that great professional wrestling move? He just went into his tights for something. What's that right there?
Well, I beg to differ with you, but if you look closely, the boss man has an injured ring finger, and he's got his ring finger taped up for support.
Yeah.
And what he did was hit Rufus R Jones with a very legal open hand, and now the boss is in complete control, like I knew he would be.
Referee Sonny Myers questioning very closely the tactics of the boss, Porkchop Cash, as he starts to open up on Rufus R Jones. Some highly questionable.
You know, they might be highly questionable tactics in your mind, but it's not highly questionable tactics in my mind, because the boss man, he's reached the zenith of professional wrestling when he was the manager in tag team competition, and now, that's right, now, after today, I'm predicting that the boss man, Porkchop Cash, is going to be the proud possessor of the Central States Heavyweight Championship belt. Mark my words, Rick Stewart.
Well, I tell you, if you're around to see it next week, I'll be real surprised after Bruiser Brody's done with you.
You're always trying to harp on the fact that Bruiser Brody's trying to kick my butt. I know he's the biggest man in professional wrestling. I know he's the strongest man in professional wrestling. I know he's a maniac. I know he's an animal. And I know that you and a lot of people out there want to see Bruiser Brody beat the you-know-what out of me. But Rick Stewart, I'm telling you, I'm telling the people in the arena, and I'm telling everybody in TV land that I'm not scared of anybody. I'm not scared of anybody.
What's that chant? The people picking up the chant, Rufus, Rufus, the Central States champion now, starting to clear his head a little bit. The boss tagged him with a good right hand. There's a sharp left jab from Rufus R Jones, the Central States heavyweight champion.
No.
And let me tell you one thing, Rip Rogers, everybody, black, white, red, brown, and yellow, proud of the job that Rufus R Jones does as the Central States heavyweight champion. And you trying to stir up some things from way out in the past, certainly I know is not appreciated by anybody out there, as you put it, in TV land.
No, what I'm thinking, Rick Stewart, is I think you're prejudiced. I think you're a prejudiced person, because you're discriminating against the boss man.
No.
Because the boss man is a great professional wrestling. And a while ago, you were telling them people were saying Rufus, Rufus. No, they were yelling watermelon, watermelon, watermelon. That's what they were yelling right there.
I see your sense of hearing's about on the same par as your eyesight, Mr. Rogers.
Right now, the boss man in complete control of this match. He's going to pin Rufus R Jones in the next minute. I can sense it.
Rufus R Jones and the boss, Porkchop Cash, slugging it out toe-to-toe. Certainly, Rufus not the kind of man to back up 1 inch. Rufus Jones now Oh, he caught him with that soup bone. Rufus Jones starting to turn the tide of this match. Rufus, big fist to the midsection. A scoop slam. Chops is down. Rufus back in that corner. Here it comes the freight train. Starts to roll.
That should be illegal.
Wait a minute. Referee Sonny Myers got caught up in that. Rufus Jones freight training again. Porkchop Cash back in the corner. Cash is down. The referee is down, and Rufus is on top. 1, 2, 3. Rufus has counted him out, but the referee is nowhere to be found. Rufus Jones going over to the ref. Whoa, wait a minute. Cash catching him from behind. Cash is up. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hustler Rip Rogers has just gone in to count out Rufus R Jones. No. No, you can't do that. You can't do that. You can't do that. You can't do that, Mr. Rogers. You can't do that.
There's the winner. The winner's right here. Mr. Porkchop Cash.
Wait a minute. We're going to find out about this. Wait a minute. You just stole your belt.
He didn't win that match.
I know he didn't, but he just took off with your belt.
What do you mean my belt? Where's my belt?
He took it back there to the dressing room with him.
Listen, he didn't win my belt. He stole my belt.
That.
Huh?
I don't. He was sitting right here. Rip Rogers and him just took your belt off to the dressing room.
I gotta have my belt.
I know, you're the champion. You deserve your belt.
Well, where the hell is my belt?
It's in the dressing room. Porkchop Cash just stole it.
Right here. I'm the winner. I'm not a loser. Where's my belt?
He just took it off to the dressing room with him.
Hey, son of mine, go get it. Go get it.
Wait a minute. Let me tell you what happened. The boss, Porkchop Cash, just took his belt off with him down that aisle in the dressing room. Referee Sonny Myers, I'm sure, is going to go back there to see it. We need to go check into this situation. We're running out of time. We'll be back. There will be an answer to this 1 week from today on All-Star Wrestling. From ringside, this is Rick Stewart. We'll see you next. He just took it down the aisle with him. Porkchop Cash and Rip Rogers just heading.
Come out here, tell the